I know why you're here. Your puppy's biting and it's driving you nuts and you need solutions fast. Give me a yes, that's me, in the comments if I got that right. And if you're in the middle of a YouTube deep dive into why puppies bite and what to do about it, you're in the right place. I'm gonna get just a little nerdy on you here for just a moment by telling you the why puppies bite, because most of the time when you know the why your puppy's biting, you're gonna know how to stop it. Now this isn't complicated stuff, but it doesn't come naturally to our human brain. So let me break it down for you real quick here. Now here's what you need to know first. Number one, puppies bite and it hurts, so your emotions are going to be running pretty high when this behavior happens. Try to check those emotions at the door because this is not personal. It's normal puppy behavior. Now you might have to repeat the mantra to yourself a few times. This is not personal, this is normal and instinctual. Say it to yourself while taking a deep breath. Next, you need to know that if you start your interaction with your biting puppy without a plan, you're gonna get off track real fast. Now, you need to have a plan for what to do when the puppy starts biting, and even a plan for what to do before you experience the biting. As part of our pro level of our online course, we frequently guide our students through the behavior modification plan called PMET. Now I'm going to give you a short version of it so you can implement a few things here today. P stands for prevention and the M stands for the management. Having a plan for the minute your puppy starts to engage with you with those razor sharp teeth is the M part of PMET. Okay, so you heard me say that this is not personal. It's normal and instinctual and developmentally appropriate that your puppy is biting. But why? What is the purpose? What does it serve? Getting inside that tiny brain of your puppy is something I'm going to help you with. So here are 6 quick reasons why puppies bite. Number 1, it's natural. They're exploring. This is just how they do it because they don't have thumbs and fingers. Their sense of smell is also so much better than ours, and getting that interesting thing in their mouth is part of them trying to smell it better or get to know it better. They're teething, which causes instinctual biting to relieve some of that discomfort or work out some of those loose teeth. Teething is most prominent between ages 3 and 7 months, but lasts all the way through that first year, even longer for oral dogs like labs. Puppies like to bite, us specifically, because we smell good, and they follow movement. Like I said, it's not personal, at least not in the I want to hurt you kind of way. It's a little more like, you're really interesting to me. Now you're probably thinking, thanks for the compliment, but no thanks? Overtired puppies bite more. They simply have no impulse control to respond the way we'd like, and their little brains just resort back to instinct. This is a lot like a toddler throwing a fit because they're overtired, and they resort back to the most basic behavior they know that doesn't involve a lot of thinking. Puppies with a lot of energy bite more. But wait, you just said puppies who are overtired bite more. And now I said puppies with a lot of energy bite more. So which is it? Yes, it's both. You'll see puppies respond in this way at both ends of the battery. A puppy battery that is drained is likely to be met with biting. And a puppy battery that's filled to the brim is also likely to respond in this way. So puppies who are thirsty, hungry, or have to poo may also bite. I have one student in my online course at the pro level who discovered that her dog becomes super jumpy when he has to poo. She was training him to ring the potty bells, and he was starting to get it, but then she also figured out this behavior. In that little puppy brain, he knew he was supposed to communicate with her about the impeding potty break, but his brain just didn't have enough synapses to do it in the right way. This is very common for puppies who are learning new things. Another student has a puppy who's working on not barking at the door. Now, when he hears someone at the door, he runs to his owner and boops her leg with his nose. And it's a pretty assertive boop, too. He's got big feelings about someone at the door, and he's trying to express them in his way. This is what happens when your puppy is biting. So it's your job to 1, figure out the source of these big feelings, and 2, offer your puppy different outlets to ease them. Now the bottom line is that when your puppy is biting, she's communicating, and it's up to you and your critical thinking human brain to figure out what it is. Now you do this by looking at context clues like the schedule. What happened right before the biting? What's happening during the biting? Hint, is she getting some sort of reinforcement? And what happens after the biting? Hint, is she getting sleepy? If you keep a log of her behaviors and her activities, you're going to start to see these patterns much more clearly. Okay, let's dig in a bit more to the PMET plan I mentioned earlier, management. Now, what do we do in the moment that the biting is happening? Well, it is going to take some time and some trial and error to figure out the best response, and it could change depending on the situation. But here are some things to try. Number 1, redirect to an appropriate toy. I know you have one in your pocket because I suggested it. And if you need a few ideas of toys that can keep human hands away from puppy teeth, you need to add this video to your watch list. Also, remove yourself so that the biting doesn't become more of a habit. This is what I meant by reinforcement. When she gets to bite on you, it's reinforcing. So let's not allow it so it doesn't happen and it doesn't become a habit. Now, one of my students has reported that playing and training with her puppy from the other side of a puppy pen can really help. She was just too exciting to her puppy, and her puppy just could not resist gnawing on her. Now this way, the puppy can't get to her, but they can continue their play together. This was a temporary measure while they worked on it, with the help of the tips like this one in today's video. Now evaluate the schedule to determine what the puppy needs. A nap, exercise, food, engagement with a human? Put on your puppy detective hat and don't give up until you get the answer, or at least until you have a strong clue. Now, based on what you've figured out is the trigger or what the puppy needs, make a plan to prevent the biting the next time. In human terms, this would be like giving a toddler a small snack before he gets too hungry and tips over the edge. How you doing so far? You keeping up? I hope you're loving this practical advice. If you are, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to thank the team and I, or buy us a cup of coffee to say thanks, you can use the super thanks button below. We all work hard to put these videos together for you, and we'd love to know that you love them. Alright, there's one really big piece of the biting puzzle that I want to stress to you. This is an important one that I mentioned above. The schedule. I can't stress this enough. Finding the right schedule balance for your puppy is going to be really a big part of how you manage this. Now, many people think that there's just one thing they need to do immediately to make puppy biting stop. But the reality is that most of those methods are not approved by positive reinforcement trainers like myself. So do yourself and your puppy a favor and stick to the following advice and tips in today's video. And just know there isn't just one thing that stops puppy biting, but instead many things. Now, puppies whose sleep needs have not been met are going to be more bitey, and they're not going to listen well. Did you know that puppies need between 16 and 18 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period? You do the math. Is your puppy getting that much? Is she even close? If you are pretty far off that number, I'm going to bet you're seeing some behaviors that are making you crazy. Now, getting a puppy to sleep enough is just way more than I can dig into this short little video. But one quick tip is to make sure the environment matches the goal. Now, that means if you want the puppy to sleep, make sure the environment is a spa-like atmosphere. Start there, and if you need more help, check out this video for more details on the schedule and how to make it work for all the behaviors that you want to see from your puppy, especially sleep. Alright, so we've gone over how to manage a biting land shark in the moment, how to figure out when she might be extra bitey, and how to prevent it. But what if none of that's working? Now, if you've done all the things and it's still not working, well, then it's time to call in some backup. After all, if you've tried to fix a leaky faucet on your own and you've binged all the videos on YouTube and you tried suggestions and you still have a drip, 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 then you probably call in a professional. My puppy biting mini course is just that. It's the professional content that you need to figure out this problem. The link is in the description below. And if you're on the fence about it, let me just remind you that the sooner you start to address the unwanted behaviors, the easier it will be to extinguish. I'm not trying to sell you something you don't need here. I'm actually genuinely telling you that the more a puppy gets to practice this frustrating habit, the more work you're gonna have to do to fix it. So, if I were you, I'd get started on your biting plan today, including the mini course if you think you need it. All right, Michelle signing off and encouraging you to keep on working with that puppy. With time and training, you're gonna get there.